Hey Deanna, here is a virtual walkthrough of your project for your nursery. So I'm just going to start out in plan view here so you can see the layout, and I'll run through quickly just how I have a couple things laid out. So basically this is the entry door into the room. This is the door from the closet, just so you can get your orientation. You walk through this door. One thing that I've done is basically switched the bed over to this wall, and then basically had your main focal wall with the fun wallpaper and everything be on this large expansive wall. So that will kind of make the view and the whole feel of the room feel like it's more geared towards a nursery versus a guest room with just a crib in it. So in the corner, so this is your existing radiator. In the corner here, we've got a rocker glider with a small little ottoman, some wall-mounted shelves on the wall space above the radiator. We're using some of your existing art that you had already had. Some floor baskets here on the floor for just storage for toys, books, clothes, all of that kind of stuff. Basically your crib here, which we'll have centered on the wall with a large mirror over it, and basically using your changing table slash dresser kind of floating in front of these windows. I went through a couple different layouts, but really I wanted the space to feel more, like I said, like a nursery with a bed in it versus like a guest room that just happens to have a nursery on it. So I really wanted this kind of large expansive wall to be the focal point for the space, and really like it's focusing on the baby and not the guest room or the extra sleeping that you have. And then we'll have a little bit of some space here. So I think just a great way to fill that out is with some awesome plants, potted plants, fiddle leaf figs, ferns, birds of paradise are some of my favorites, just to add some height, some texture, some color, some life into the room. And also I think it actually goes really well with our kind of safari-inspired theme. We've got a large 9x12 area rug here, kind of anchoring these two spaces, and then just overlaying. It's a thin weave rug, and then overlaying it is your existing hide that you guys had brought back from Iceland, I believe. And then over here again, just centered basically on the space between the door and the opening to the closet, is a new upholstered queen-size bed with 2 end tables, and then the existing tapestry that your mother-in-law had given you, reframed and matted, hanging above that bed. So I'm just going to swing through some of the views so we can get an idea. So this would be your view walking into the room from the main door entry. So again, really focusing on that view, highlighting the crib and the fun accent wall and the awesome wallpaper, just saying like this is a baby space. It's not just a guest space with a crib in it. We're actually proposing 2 wallpapers for this. So basically using this awesome large-scale zebra wallpaper in the green colorway on this main wall, and then using a trellis, I want to say it's like a bamboo look, almost trellis pattern wallpaper on the ceiling. So kind of doing something really fun and unexpected, and then keeping the rest of the walls just a super neutral to let these 2 elements really pop. So you'll see your cognac colored crib here, and then I'm proposing a really large scale mirror on this wall. So one thing that does is basically helps fill this space, but without taking away from the elements of the wallpaper. We don't really want to put a lot of stuff over this because it's got a lot going on already, but also will help kind of reflect light and throw the reflection of that newly framed tapestry back into the room. So like when you come in, you'll get a really cool sight line for that. And again, just those large plants in the corner, and you can kind of see a peek of the chair, which we'll see as we spin around. here. So this would be as if you're standing kind of towards the closet and looking back out towards your radiator, and this entrance door is over here. So again, just another view of this wall with the crib and the oversized mirror. You can see your existing chandelier kind of peeking through, and then creating just a corner area with a nice glider and some extra storage. So utilizing this wall space with some floating shelves for books, or bins to store wipes or extra clothes or ointments or whatever you might need. And then these three pieces are actually your existing artwork. So that circles print that you have here, the buffalo print, and then your antelope head. I want to do this as well and see if we can see this a little bit better. So you can kind of see this little area. So this would be your rocker glider with a place to kick your feet up for when you're breastfeeding or rocking baby. It just gets a little bit more comfortable for you. Storage, your existing art layout, and then just a place for basically catch-all for toys and whatnot, which you might not use much at the beginning, but as the baby grows in the space, you'll definitely use these to kind of do a quick cleanup of the room and have like a place to contain everything. Swinging around, looking at your bed. So this is the door to the closet, and obviously your existing windows. So just doing a really clean lined, upholstered headboard. This is your existing tapestry. I'm just suggesting doing a little bit of a mat and then a black frame, like a 1-inch black frame around it, and hanging that over the bed. So kind of playing off the cool pattern and everything that we have going on in the zebra wall, without overwhelming this space. A couple of really clean and contemporary marble topped round nightstands, and then I love this piece, which is slightly pricey, but I think it's a good statement piece. So this is basically your dresser storage and a changing table. So as we had talked about, it is a dresser, but there's a removable top on it. So it comes with a topper that sits on there and contains a changing pad. So you can use this as a bum changing station for when you need it. But when you don't, the top part can come off, and it just transitions into a really cool kind of travel inspired dresser piece. So it's actually got some nail heads and leather handles, and it's kind of trunk inspired. So I think it's a really fun, interesting, unique piece, and a way to kind of break up the wood tones that we have going on with the nightstands and the crib and the flooring and everything. As far as window treatments, you can see I did two different window treatments. So basically I'm showing an inside mount woven shade with a black outliner in between the three panels of your window. And then up here is your stained glass. So we'll probably just leave that as is without putting anything over it, but also then doing a long, like 108-inch drapery rod with drapery panels on each side. So when you need it to be dark, you can drop these down and then also pull the curtains, and that should get out a lot of the light and get it nice and dark in there for you or for baby, for anyone else that might be sleeping in this space and wants to have it be light controlled. So that is pretty much the scope of the layout of your room. I'll upload this and all of your mood boards and design documents and everything into or I'll send that to you in an email, and hopefully you love everything. I look forward to hearing your feedback. Thanks.